In this lesson, we will discuss the fundamentals of Cisco Meraki security products. The MX is the Cisco Meraki series of security appliances. In this lesson, we will cover the MX platform overview and the models of the MX security appliances. We will discuss the MX licensing and features, such as automatic site-to-site VPN, malware protection, software-defined WAN, and high availability. We will close the lesson with a discussion on how to choose the correct size of MX for your requirements. Let's get started with an MX platform overview. The MX is a 100% cloud-managed appliance providing comprehensive security, networking, and application control features. On top of the standard security features you would expect to find in a quality, next-generation security appliance, such as stateful firewalling, VPNs, intrusion detection, and prevention services, the MX also includes advanced malware protection, Layer 7 visibility, content filtering, traffic shaping, and software-defined WAN. From a reliability standpoint, each model of MX has dual fixed LAN interfaces and a cellular uplink to maximize the uptime of your network. They also support a warm spare failover and redundant power supplies on certain models. Being cloud-managed, threat definitions and filter lists are automatically updated as soon as a new vulnerability or malicious website is identified. Definitions, security patches, and new feature updates are pushed out from the cloud to each of your devices. This ensures your networks are always up to date and protected. These updates can be delivered as soon as they become available or in a pre-scheduled maintenance window that suits your needs. The single pane of glass cloud-based dashboard provides end-to-end visibility and reporting for all your Meraki devices. Rich graphical reports, in-depth usage analytics, and intuitive configuration and troubleshooting tools are all included out of the box. They are accessible wherever you have a browser and an internet connection. There is an MX security appliance to suit every network. The Z3 is an ideal device for ultra-small offices, telecommuters, or even as a remote access out-of-band management device. For small branch applications, the MX64 is the most popular device, making up over 50% of all our security appliances shipped to date. The MX65 adds to the feature set of the 64 by adding 2 PoE Plus ports and increasing the overall number of gig interfaces from 5 to 12. Both the MX64 and the MX65 come in a W designation, W for wireless. The built-in wireless features 802.11ac with up to 1.2 gigabits per second throughput and 4 separate SSIDs. They are both capable of 250 megabits of firewall throughput, 100 megabits of VPN throughput, and are recommended for installations for up to 50 users. They are a great branch-in-a-box solution. For the medium branch, we offer the MX84 and MX100. The MX84 has 10 copper gigabit Ethernet interfaces and 2 SFP ports. Firewall throughput is 500 megabits per second, and VPN throughput is 250 megabits per second. The device is recommended for networks of up to 200 users. The MX100 has 9 copper gigabit Ethernet interfaces and 2 SFP ports. Firewall throughput is 750 megabits per second, with VPN throughput of 500 megabits per second. Select this device for networks of up to 500 users. We use the MX100 at the Cisco Meraki offices in Sydney and London. For the large branch, campus, or VPN concentrator, we offer the MX250 and MX450. Both models offer 2 10G SFP plus interfaces for high-speed connectivity and 8 copper plus 8 fiber plus 8 10G SFP plus interfaces for flexible LAN connectivity needs. The MX250 is rated for 4 gigabits per second of stateful firewall throughput and up to 2,000 users, while the MX450 is rated for up to 6 gigabits per second of firewall throughput and up to 10,000 users. The VMX100 is Meraki's only appliance that is available as a virtual machine, with 2 versions currently available, one version for AWS and the other version for Azure. When deployed, the VMX can support up to 500 megabits per second of VPN throughput and is managed through the Meraki dashboard, just like any other piece of Meraki hardware. The MX security appliance is an exception to the Meraki portfolio in that it supports 2 levels of license. The features included with the Enterprise Features license are extremely powerful and may exceed many of your customers' needs. The Auto VPN feature is a reason alone to choose MX for your networks. This is a cloud-brokered VPN service that allows you to build a dynamic, self-healing, resilient IPsec VPN in a couple of clicks of your mouse. Software-defined WAN adds intelligence and automation to your traffic flows. It's a transport-independent service that supports policy-based routing and allows for dynamic path selection based on application type, link quality, and other factors. High availability failover ensures maximum uptime for your network in the event of a device failure. Application control and traffic shaping allow you to get very granular with what you want to allow on your network and how you determine the level of bandwidth you want to allocate to each application type. The slightly more expensive Advanced Security license includes all of the enterprise features, plus a bundle of additional security subscription services to enhance your appliance's capability. Advanced Security license features include Google Safe Search and YouTube for Schools, Cisco Advanced Malware Protection with its Global Threat Intelligence Network, Cisco SourceFire IDS and IPS to detect and protect traffic between the Internet and the LAN, as well as VLAN to VLAN. Threat Grid Behavioral Monitoring to establish file dispositions through executing potentially malicious files in a sandbox environment. And IP geolocation database for geographical-based viable rules. The most important thing to know about these 2 licenses is that you must be running the same licensing level organization-wide. You may have multiple networks within your organization. You may want to run Advanced Security at your head office, but want to run Enterprise at the branch offices and for the teleworkers. Unfortunately, you are not able to do this. All MXs within an organization must be licensed to either All Enterprise or All Advanced Security. There is a workaround to this, however. You could put the headquarters MX in one organization and the branch offices in another. But this approach is not ideal. First, you will lose your aggregated end-to-end reporting and analytics as these roll up to an organizational level. Second, you won't be able to take advantage of the Auto VPN to automatically configure and heal your site-to-site VPNs. You can still set up non-Meraki VPNs between organizations, like you would to an ASA or Azure, but you will lose some of the really compelling features that are in Auto VPN. So our recommendation is to have all MXs in one organization. The automated site-to-site VPN is reason enough alone to deploy Meraki MXs at every single site of your network. Traditionally, VPNs have been complicated to set up and support. They are prone to misconfiguration. Picture this. You have shipped a router out to a new branch office that is being set up. You configured it all on your desk before it left. It just needs to be plugged in when it gets to the branch office. Barry, the cabling contractor, is on site and had racked up the equipment and plugged it in. But the tunnel just won't come up. You phone Barry. Barry, I need you to console into the router and type some commands for me. Uh-oh, which one is the console port? 30 minutes later, you have Barry set up. You finally have configured the serial port, you've downloaded and installed PuTTY, and you've finally established console access. You are getting there. Okay, Barry, I want you to type show run and hit Enter. Okay, now scroll down until you see the word crypto and read to me what it says there. This is going to be a long, slow process. Does this scenario sound familiar to anyone? I know that this very scenario has happened to me. With the Meraki MX Auto VPN feature, all the challenges of site-to-site VPNs are removed. Because all Meraki devices talk to the centralized cloud dashboard to fetch their configurations, you will never again end up in a situation phoning Barry to step him through crypto maps or hashing methods due to a bricked offline device. Not only is the distribution of configurations seamless, the actual setup of the VPNs couldn't be easier. It's a simple matter of clicking on a radio button to select whether your MX is a hub or a spoke. Then, if you have selected spoke, pick a hub from the drop-down list. Now, if you want to add resilience to your network, you can select a second hub or a third. Then arrange them in order of preference. Finally, browse the list of local networks and check yes or no as to whether you would like them to be on the VPN. You're done. It is as simple as that. You now have a fully resilient hub and spoke VPN between your sites. Because the VPN is cloud brokered, if your MX is on a dynamic IP and changes its address, it will simply update the dashboard and the new configurations will be pushed out to all the other MXs that are participating in your VPN. Easy stuff. From a monitoring and troubleshooting perspective, Dashboard gives a really beautiful and intuitive view of your VPNs. Looking at the right-hand side of this image, you see usage and latency graphs and a breakdown of all peer information available right at your fingertips. Plus, the circular chart on the right of the page visually displays how much traffic is traversing each site-to-site link. Like all things at Cisco Meraki, we like to offer comprehensive features with minimal complexity. The Cisco Advanced Malware Protection Team and the Cisco Meraki MX teams worked really hard to bring the best anti-malware solution in the industry to the MX platform. Now that it is fully integrated into the Cisco solution portfolio, the MX gets access to the AMP Global Intelligence Database just by using the Cisco Meraki dashboard. The AMP Intelligence Database has over 500 million known files and receives 1 million new samples every day. This means your network can be protected from even the newest of threats because the AMP database is being updated every hour. Downloaded files get checked in real time against the global AMP database. In fact, we can even retrospectively detect malware. However, no solution can detect 100% of the malware. One of your users may be unlucky enough to be patient zero. Suppose your user happened to download some malware that had not yet been identified as a threat. A few hours or even a few days later, this download is tagged as a threat. As the administrator, you would be notified about this new threat so you could take corrective action against the files that have already been downloaded. The Security Center gives you a graphical view of what threats have been blocked, where those threats are coming from, and which users or hosts are triggering them. It also combines information from the IPS and IDS, so you are presented with a more holistic view of your security landscape. Threat Grid provides sandbox execution of unknown files, either in the cloud or in a local sandbox. You can monitor and play back the actions performed by the file to determine its intent. Software-Defined WAN, or SD-WAN, provides MPLS-like functionality at a fraction of the cost or complexity. There are 4 main areas that Gartner says are required to classify a solution as SD-WAN. The first of those is transport independence. The solution must be completely agnostic to the underlying connection type. It must support multiple connection types. In other words, according to Gartner, it should not make any difference if you build your SD-WAN over the top of an existing carrier MPLS network, public internet, LTE, 3G, satellite, or even dial-up. An SD-WAN will work. In the case of Cisco Meraki, for example, A Cisco Meraki SD-WAN deployed over MX appliances provides this transport resiliency and independence. Secondly, SD-WAN needs to offer dynamic path selection. The SD-WAN-enabled appliance must be able to identify multiple paths and offer some sort of intelligence in how it chooses to best route to the destination, without manual intervention. Third, there must be a simple interface for managing the WAN. If the interface is not simple, we might as well go back to hand configuring MPLS PE routers via the CLI. Lastly, the solution must support VPNs. To create an overlay WAN, we need to stitch together all these features somehow and make sure it is secure, and advertise our local networks to remote sites. This is achieved by the use of virtual private networks. The Meraki appliances absolutely meet and exceed all of the requirements set out by Gartner. How is the Meraki software-defined WAN implemented? SD-WAN completely abstracts the transport away from the service, giving complete transport independence. We do this by using the Auto VPN functionality. As long as there is IP reachability, Auto VPN will build the IPsec overlay tunnels. Application optimization. As with all Meraki devices, application visibility is built right in. You can use this application awareness combined with QoS and traffic shaping to ensure super granular control over the traffic flows on your WAN. Meraki supports not only failover and load sharing, but granular intelligent path selection and control based on individual traffic flows and traffic types. You can set specific rules based on source address, destination address, port number, application type, or a combination of any number of these. As well as brute failover when a link goes down, Meraki also supports soft failover of individual traffic types based on custom criteria. So what does this mean? This means you can set up a custom performance class. For example, you could set up a performance class indicating that voice over IP traffic should be on a path with less than 150 milliseconds of delay. The preferred length of this voice service may not fail completely, but due to congestion or upstream issues, it may have high latency. The MX device will monitor these thresholds and dynamically move the voice traffic over to a more suitable WAN connection. No waiting for users to call up and complain about voice quality. No manual intervention is required. This is intelligent path control. From a security perspective, the overlay of VPN isn't just providing a virtualized transport. It is also providing a secure, encrypted tunnel. This can give you the comfort that your private corporate data can traverse the public internet without any fear of compromise. Mission-critical networks can't afford to be down. Cisco has built several layers of redundancy into the Meraki MX product line to protect your networks against WAN failure, power interruption, and appliance faults. In the event of an appliance failure, the warm spare feature will ensure that your site stays online automatically. Because your configurations and features are synchronized from the cloud, all of your firewall rules, DHCP configuration and leases, VPNs, and advanced security services will continue to operate off the backup device. Virtual Router Redundancy Protocol ensures minimal interruptions in the client devices as the switchover happens. Dual redundant WAN connections means you have the option of protecting your network connectivity to the Internet via multiple service providers. This can be achieved with a basic failover or using concurrent load balancing if required. Granular traffic control rules allow you to specify what traffic takes priority on each link and ensure that, in a failover event, your most critical traffic continues to operate as expected. All MX devices also support cellular WAN, providing a third option to access the Internet in the event of a total exchange outage or a backhaul outage event. High availability is simple to configure, and monitoring of links and devices is all directly from the dashboard. Alerts can be configured to notify the administrator of a failure event, so a ticket can be raised with your service provider or an RMA arranged for the device. Cisco offers a variety of resources for the Meraki MX. The MX sizing guide is available on our website at the link shown at the bottom of the screen. Alternatively, type Meraki MX sizing guide into your favorite search engine. The sizing guide is a fantastic resource to help you answer the question, which MX is the best fit for my network? The sizing guide provides a side-by-side comparison of each model of MX. Simply select the physical requirements, such as port quantity and type, PoE, power, and so forth. Then compare the line rate network performance. The sizing guide goes on to articulate each security feature and the comparative performance impact of enabling that service. Most useful, though, are the real-world use cases. These cases have been developed in collaboration between product development, engineering, and the sales teams off real-world customer networks. Do you want to know what a K-12 school with limited bandwidth would look like? How will the device perform with net, content filtering, Layer 7 firewall rules, traffic shaping, malware protection, safe search, and web caching all turned on? It's there in the sizing guide. How about a college that is a high bandwidth user but only wants to enable net, malware protection, and Layer 7 to block BitTorrent? Well, that is in the sizing guide too. Retail services for branches or head offices, all included in the sizing guide. So, this is the go-to guide comparing Meraki products against each other and as a tool to use when comparing them to the competition. This sizing guide is constantly revised and updated as new products and features are added to the Meraki security portfolio. In this lesson, we discussed the MX platform and the various models of the MX security appliance. We talked about the different licensing types and the benefit of running the same licensing type for the organization. We discussed the MX features and their benefits, including the cloud-brokered site-to-site VPN, malware protection, software-defined WAN, and the features that ensure high availability and reliability. We talked about the sizing guide resource that can help you to choose the correct size of MX to address your requirements as well as your customers' requirements. In the next lesson, we will learn about the Meraki switch platform.